A Duff Said is brought to you by Sheldon Street Pizza. Visit them online at sheldonstreetpizza.com or stop by Sheldon's during your next trip to Lake Orion. Sheldon Street Pizza, the official pizza of A Duff Said. And by Fourth Coast Cider Works. Quality craftsmanship, quality hard cider. You can check them out online at fourthcoastciderworks.com or come get a can or a howler at their Canterbury Village location. Not available for anyone under the age of 21. Please drink responsibly. Saginaw Valley State lost a heartbreaker this past Saturday to the number one ranked team in the country, the Ferris State Bulldogs. Now, the Cardinals actually led this game on their home turf throughout much of the second half. But with just over a minute left to play, the defending Division II national champion Bulldogs managed to grab the lead and head out of Saginaw with a 33-28 victory. Now, this is the second loss in a row for Saginaw Valley State, and it does not get any easier this weekend. For the third week in a row, the Cardinals are taking on a team ranked in the top 10 in the country in Division II. This week, the 8th-ranked Indianapolis Greyhounds come into Saginaw for homecoming week. The Cardinals are looking to bounce back and have a great time this weekend at homecoming. I caught up with head coach Ryan Brady to talk about last week's game and the Cardinals' preparations for the Greyhounds. My conversation with head coach Ryan Brady starts now. You led the number one team in the country until that final minute and some change, and then the Bulldogs, they just managed to grab the lead and ultimately take the win away from you guys. What were they able to do on that final drive?
Yeah. Well, there's a lot to unpack in that question there. We had a multitude of opportunities in the second half. Obviously, we had an 8-point lead, going into the fourth quarter, and so, we had an opportunity for a pick six, an interception for a touchdown that we had our hands on, and just couldn't bring it in. So that was unfortunate. And then we had a strip sack fumble, which I thought we recovered, and we fell right on top of it, and the ball squirted out the side. And then we had the quarterback tackled, and we picked him up and tried to throw him down. And, he landed on his feet and took off for 46 yards. And, and we had a couple unsportsmanlike foul penalties that really hurt us when we had already been off the field and already won on third down. So really it was just, we lost our focus, and ultimately we just didn't finish.
I know you don't really like to think about moral victories, but this is the second straight year that your guys over at Saginaw Valley State, you guys were able to take Ferris State down to the wire. You guys had them in overtime last year before they managed to escape last season. And then this past Saturday, you had the lead against them going into the final minute of the game. Now, even though you did come up short in those games, what does that say about your program that you have been that close with one of the best Division II programs in the entire country?
Yeah, it just tells us that we're closing the gap. And, like we talked about last week, we're a really good football team, but, we want to be a great team. And great teams, finish in those situations. And so it's really the next step that we need to take is, we need to finish when it matters. The difference between 21 and 22 is, I just felt like in 21, we were playing catch up a little bit in that game. This game, I thought we dominated the second and third quarters and had the momentum, with 8-9 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. And, ultimately, we made some critical errors that cost us, and offensively, we had some opportunities, and, you got to give them credit. Ferris made plays when they had to, but, offensively, we struggled and had 5 3-and-outs in the second half. And, they really, we knew they had a great defense, and, we were trying to protect the lead, and, Obviously, they had a great pass rush, and so it was obviously a little. It was a tricky situation, and unfortunately, it slipped away from us.
Ferris State started this game by leading 20-7, and you knew that you had the talent to make up that margin. But what did you have to say, or what adjustments did you have to make in order to help turn things around?
Yeah, we just didn't settle in very quickly defensively. But once we settled in, I thought our defense played outstanding. And that's the key with Ferris. They're a big play offense, and they move fast and they play with a lot of tempo. And so you got to get used to the speed on the perimeter against them. And so they took advantage early on, on the edge and in the perimeter. And we hung around, and then once our defense settled in, our defense started creating turnovers, and then offensively we figured out a little bit of what they were trying to do, and turned those turnovers into points. And we went into halftime with a 21-20 lead. And we started the third quarter, got the ball, started the third quarter, came right down and scored, made it 28-20, and then defense just was really locked in. Really proud of how hard our guys played, and then just we got to the fourth quarter, and like I said, just so many opportunities, a play here or a play there, and I think we steal that one, and so it's going to be, we've had to pick up the pieces this week and go back to work, and we don't have a lot of time to think about that one anymore, as Indianapolis is coming to town. They're one of 15 teams in Division II that are undefeated.
And I want to touch base on that game with you here in just a moment, but getting back to your defense and some of the things you said about them, they made some huge stops in this game, including Josh Fusco. He recovered a fumble at one point when they were trying to increase that lead against you guys. He took it to the 20, and that kind of helped set things up for your offense. Fusco is a junior for your program, and aside from making that huge momentum booster, what has he brought to your program?
Yeah, Josh is a really good player. He's even a better person. We love Josh, and he's a leader. He just works so hard. He's a very talented young man. He's kind of got the whole package in terms of what we look for in terms of our strong safety position. He's got great speed and quickness, but he's also a really tough and physical, and can set a really good edge. He's a great tackler, and so he's a high motor guy, and obviously that was a big play with the fumble, and that was really a key moment in the game. For Daly did a great job and put his helmet right in the football, and we recovered, and then offensively we gained some momentum and went bang 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 and got down there and scored, and then the defense went back out there, and a couple plays later it was an interception, and then boom 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 touchdown. It was halftime, so it was a big momentum swing in the second quarter, and so but yeah, Josh is a big part of what we're doing here.
You guys had 2 interceptions off of their quarterback in this game. You guys really did a great job in zeroing in on some of the throws that he was trying to make, and you were able to pick those off. One of those interceptions came from Cameron Mitchell. Now, Cameron isn't a guy that we've had a chance to talk about. What kind of elements does he bring to your program?
Yeah, Cam's a senior. He's been in our program. We recruited Cam since my first season here in 2019. So, he's been with the program and been with me from the beginning, and he's been a key contributor on our defense and on special teams. So Cam's very long and athletic, and is very fast, and he also is just a great person, a great team player. So he plays a lot of snaps for us, and he's made a lot of big plays throughout his career. We'll continue to need that from Cam as we move forward here.
Another big contributor, he has been a contributor to your defense all season long. Trevor Nowaski, he made 15 tackles, and he had one of the other interceptions that you had in this game. Now, he just continues to come up big in big game situations. What's it been like this season to see him continue to make these strides?
Yeah, Trevor's he's a rock for us. He's a guy you can count on every play to do his job, and Even when they double team him, he splits double teams and makes plays for a TFL and those kind of things. And if the ball is ever in his vicinity, he gets a hand on it. He's coming away with that thing. I mean, so Trevor's just a huge playmaker for us, and we're going to continue to need Trevor to be a leader on our defense and continue to play at a really high level.
We're talking with Saginaw Valley State head football coach Ryan Brady. The Cardinals take on Indianapolis. They are ranked in the top 10 this weekend. This past weekend, the Cardinals had their chances against the number 1 team in the country in Ferris State. And in one of those instances, Coach, you went for it on 4th and 29, and it paid off. You guys were able to not only convert on 4th down, but you got a touchdown on that play. They say no risk it, no biscuit. So take me through that thought process. What made you decide that you wanted to go for it on that play, and how did you make it work?
Yeah, I wasn't excited about having to go for it in that situation. But there wasn't a lot of time left in the half, and it was a very windy day. So there was high winds, so we were out of field goal range, and we were way too close to punt it. There was going to be no reward there, so really we're just going to take a shot at the end zone. That was the whole premise behind what we were doing. And so we thought maybe we had a pass interference call the play before, didn't get the call. And so, we had another penalty for holding. So that backed us up and got us in the situation, in the first place, which is not where we wanted to be because we put together a great drive and we were really in pretty good position there. And then, Andrew Brito just made a great play and, he escaped the pocket and got out on the perimeter and, threw it up to Ernest Sanders and gave Ernest a chance. And Ernest may have pushed up just a little bit. But there was no call and it was a touchdown for us. And, I thought it was maybe a little bit of a makeup call and that's how it goes. And so it was a big play for us.
Hey, they can't take it back now. So that was a big play that went in your favor. And not only did that play go into your favor, but another instance in which Andrew Brito was on target, he hooked up with Nick Johnson on a 43-yard touchdown pass in the first quarter. How thrilled were you to see some of those big plays go your way after being on the receiving end of those last week against Grand Valley State?
Yeah, Ferris got a great defense. I truly believe they're one of 3 or 4 of the best defenses in the nation. And so it's tough sled, and they have an unbelievable defensive line. They're hard to move. It's tough to run the ball against them. And so we knew we were going to have to find a way to manage to run the football and be productive. And you don't want to be one-dimensional against them because they have 2 Power 5 type defensive ends. One who was the national player of the week last week against us. Caleb Murphy had 3 sacks and another 3 or 4 TFLs or something crazy. So he was very difficult to deal with. But yeah, Andrew made a nice play, and we kind of took advantage of a rule that Ferris has on defense, and so it was a big play, and scored on our first drive, and took a 7-6 lead, and and then Ferris come back and ran the same exact play the very next play against us and scored a touchdown. So both teams ran the same play with the same result. So it was a classic, Ferris State, Saginaw Valley State, rivalry game where just this game had a lot to offer. Big plays and turnovers and, a lot of penalties, a lot of drama. It was definitely one of those classic games where, it's just unfortunate we come out on the other side.
Well, I would definitely say hold on to that play for later this season, especially if you guys make the playoffs. You got another great performance this past week from Andrew Brito. He also ran in 2 touchdowns in addition to those 2 touchdown throws that he connected on. Those are the kind of things you want to see out of your quarterback in big game situations, and now he's had a taste of that. What are your thoughts on how he is progressing in big game environments such as this?
Yeah, he's a gamer for sure. You know, he battled hard. You know, took a lot of shots. You know, he was pretty banged up after that game, but he's a tough kid. Comes right back out of practice right away. Um, you know, and so I've been very pleased with you know, how he's handled the big moments, and how he's continued to lead our team, and we're going to continue to need him to do that moving forward. Here, we got a lot of big games and tough tests coming up, and you know, we got to get back on track this week.
It was a disappointing loss for sure, but a tremendous effort on your guys' part. What did you say to your team after the game?
Well, it's, you know, 2 weeks in a row of you know, playing the number one and the number two team in the nation, which are both bitter rivals for us. And so, you know, you work hard all year long to play in those games, and you know, our expectation was that, you know, we were going to win both of those games, and so to come up short in both, you know, it's obviously, you know, you're emotionally invested, and so it takes a lot out of you. So there's just a lot of there's a lot that goes into this, and so, you know, I just told our guys, like, hey, you gotta have a short memory, and you got to move on, because you got the eighth ranked team in the nation coming to your house next week, and it's homecoming, and you don't have time to feel sorry for yourself. So we're playing. You know, I can't imagine anybody having a tougher schedule in the nation than what we're playing with. I mean, so number one, number two, and number eight, in back-to-back weeks, and we've already played number nine in week two. So, you know, it's been a gauntlet, and you know, we have to find a way to get back on track this week.
And that starts with Indianapolis. We just touched on it. They're ranked number 8 in the country. Indianapolis is a program that is from my home state. I've followed the Greyhounds for a number of years when I worked at Indiana Sports Talk. I'm not at all surprised that they are doing so well and ranked so high in Division II. They have a tremendous program out there at Indianapolis. What are some things that you're going to have to contend with when they come into your place this weekend?
Yeah, they got a great running back, probably one of the best running backs in the nation, Toriano Clinton. So we have to do a great job, and you know, we have to keep him in check. So their run team, they dominate up front on the line of scrimmage, so they want to pound the football. So we got to stop the run, and then obviously they have a very, very good defense, only allowing about 50 yards a game rushing, and so. You know, we got to get back to running the football here. We've had 2 weeks here where we've not really met our goal, and so it's going to be a battle. I mean, two teams that, you know, are great at stopping the run and running the football, and so this is going to be a big test for us. Obviously, they're 5-0, you know, ranked very high, and coming in here, and obviously, this is a big game for us. This could be our second win against a top 10 opponent. So that's very important for us and what we continue to want to do. And so, you know, we're looking forward to our opportunity on Saturday.
And it's going to be homecoming for you guys this weekend as well. Is that going to help add to the excitement, or are you concerned that that might be a bit of a distraction as you do take on yet another difficult opponent?
Yeah, I don't see homecoming being a distraction. Homecoming's a celebration. Homecoming's really for everybody else. You know, the football team never gets to celebrate homecoming. We're too busy focused on the game. And you know, if you win the football game in homecoming, then homecoming was a success. And so, you know, that's what I told the kids. There's always pressure on homecoming because you know, for everybody to feel great about homecoming, it's because the football team won. And so, you know, it's our obligation is to go out there and win the game for everybody else. Let everybody else enjoy the spoils of homecoming and the activities and the events. For us, you know, we're singularly focused here on Indianapolis.
What could be better than celebrating homecoming with a victory over the 8th-ranked team in the nation? I know that's a goal that you have set for your guys, and, you know, what's it going to take to ultimately achieve that goal?
Yeah, we got to play our best. You know, it's going to be a tough game. It's going to be a tight game, you know. And so what we need to do is we need to stay focused throughout this game. We need to stay focused, and we need to finish. You know, the details are really going to matter in a game like this. And that's where, you know, you have to be laser focused on, you know, every little detail of what you're supposed to be doing and how you're supposed to be doing it. And so that really is important. We can't let opportunities slip away. We need to capitalize on every time we have an opportunity, because that's what great teams do. And so we need to take another step here this week, and really go out and have a statement win here.
He is the head coach of the Saginaw Valley State Cardinals, Ryan Brady. His Cardinals take on 8th-ranked Indianapolis this weekend. It is homecoming for the Cardinals. Coach Ryan Brady, thank you so much for making some time this week here on A Duff Said Live. Wish you all the best this weekend, and I hope you get a chance to, at least for a minute or two, celebrate homecoming with all your fans, because that is a special time of year. It's fall, it's the leaves changing, it's the temperatures starting to get low. It's just a chance for you guys to celebrate with so many great fans and alumni of your program. I hope you guys have a great time this weekend.
Yeah, thanks, Duff. I appreciate it.
Would you like to hear more about Saginaw Valley State football? Then head to my website, aduffsaid.com. You can hear all of my conversations that I've had this season with head coach Ryan Brady just by going to the Podbean app, Apple Podcasts, the iHeartRadio app, or wherever you get your podcasts. For more on Saginaw Valley State football, be sure to look up my Facebook page, sports journalist Duff Tyler. You can also hit me up on Twitter. Just look for Duff Tyler. Until next time, I am Duff Tyler, and I am reminding you that if Duff said it, it must be true, because that's what a Duff said.